Hi there, good morning. We have made it to day number 10, and this is the tip for day number 10. Today's tip is called Intuition and Energy Manifestation Acceleration Technique to speed up getting what you want. So let's take a look at where we've been. First of all, just for those of you who are new and coming on to this series, the purpose of this series is to give you intuition, energy, and spiritual strengthening tools to bring what I call heaven to earth, where you will create the results that you want, you will create the confidence, the courage, the inspiration, the motivation, and the momentum that we really need during these challenging times, where you feel the self-empowerment and where you therefore, hi there, Annette, and where you therefore are able to be what I call light leaders, people who are bringing forth and modeling, being true to what's going on for them, being authentic, but at the same time, mustering up and modeling the kinds of connections to bring forth your highest dimensions. Hi there, Joe. To bring forth the highest dimensions of who you are, to help yourself, your household, your family, and those whose lives you touch. This is a time of coming together. This is a time of reevaluating standards and values and techniques that bring out the strength of who you are. This is a time for us all to step back and reflect and reevaluate the direction of our lives and how we can impact the collective consciousness that is happening to offset the evil, and that's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to even empower any more adjectives or nouns, but to bring forth instead a rising up of love, compassion, and at the same time pragmatic, practical, grounded things to do to move your life forward. And that's why it was time for me to teach you today's technique. So far, what we've done is we've established a energy imprinting exercise on day 2, which establishes your ability to actually program and impact the energetic broadcasts that come off of your energy field. So that impresses on the God force, that impresses in the creative life force that surrounds us. And it also impresses a specific kind of messaging into the world that helps you to bring forth the people, places, and circumstances that are going to be responsible and intrinsic to you creating what you want to create in the outer world. That includes you creating the person that you want to be, the inner world as well as the outer world. So that's what we did on day 2. Then on day 3, you learned a very specific core foundation tool that helps you when you practice it to become sensitive to, are you living the behavior that you want to be living? Are you living the circumstances that you want to be living? Are you living the way you are feeling and the quality of thoughts that you have? And if you are not, that particular tool assists you in releasing it down, what I taught as a grounding cord. So, that's little Sweet Orion. Sweet Orion is in here because he gets into tussles with the other cats, so he's here with me and us. Now, when you are looking at scanning yourself and seeing what it is that is not in alignment with what you want to accomplish, you send it down the grounding cord and you establish your ability to replace those energies with your imagination of the kinds of energies and the kinds of experiences you would rather have instead. Those 2 tools, day 2 and 3, are foundation, self-modulating, self-correcting, self-inventing tools that will help you with anything throughout any kind of circumstance on any given day. You just have to practice it like everything else. Then the rest of the tools and techniques really had to do with you being sensitive to the energies in your space, how to cleanse those, how to ground your room, how to divorce yourself from energetic connections that are not serving you, how to bring forth instead understandings and ways to identify, clarify, and launch what it is you want to do. That's what we've been doing so far. So now let's go ahead and move into tying it all together with these principles so that you're able to now focus on a goal and start clearing it and bringing a connection to those people, places, and circumstances that you choose to be connected to that will facilitate and support you creating your desired outer world outcomes. So just one second here. I learned from yesterday or the day before when I really needed some water. All right. So let's talk about what the principles are going to be of this particular technique. Similar to yesterday of grounding the room, and similar to the day before of putting up your protection rows and using that as a scanner, like a security guard, like a radar that surrounds your humanness. You are learning how to pick up on energies and how to transmute them and direct them. The same is true with this technique that we're going to do now. So the first component for you to understand is that we're going to have a ball suspended in the air that you're going to project into some sort of collection of desired emotions, desired pictures, desired internal dialogue of what it is you want to create as an experience for yourself. Now, that could be a new job given what's going on right now. It could be discovering a creative alternative so that you are staying safe with what we're dealing with the coronavirus matter at this time, where we are supposedly staying home and doing social distancing and being mindful and honoring of very real states of being that are causing very real suffering on one hand and very real opportunities for greater things on the other hand. So in this bubble, you're going to be projecting like a snapshot of what it is you want to be experiencing. A job, a relationship, a health condition right now, right? Money, a particular financial goal, a particular problem that you need to solve. And what would the solution look like once it was here with you? You're also going to be using as a component that grounding cord again. Just one moment. The concept of the grounding cord, where you're going to wash out of your bubble any counter thoughts, circumstances, relationships, timing, obstacles, blocks that might be interfering with you creating that particular outcome. You're going to remove those conditions, those influences out from impacting your desired outcome, and flush it down the grounding cord and head it on over once again to component number 3, that for those of you who have been following all these tips, that will be the transmuting form, which is the crystalline boulder in the center of the earth. And this grounding cord is going to connect to that crystalline boulder, and it's going to transmute it so you're not toxifying Mother Earth. What you're doing instead is you are releasing out of your energy field and out of your dreams that you want to create, and you're going to put those energies into a place which will be the crystalline boulder that will transmute those energies into goodness and goodwill, love and light. So you don't have to worry that you're hurting anything by letting go of that which does not serve you. That's component number 3. Component number 4 is going to be you putting out the telepathic broadcast, you putting out the thought forms of what you need to bring forth the supportive resources that will partner with you, circumstances and people and resources, to make this desired outcome come into being. So those are the 4 components. You'll have to excuse sweet Orion. He doesn't like being in this room without his buddies outside, but you know, it's going to be better for all of us if he stays right here. So what we have here are 4 benchmarks that we're going to be activating. Benchmark or components. Component number 1 is the bubble. Component number 2 is the grounding cord. Component number 3 is the transmuting crystalline boulder. And component number 4 is going to be the telepathic reaching out, expanding out, putting your intention, your will, your request out into the universe to connect to those people, places, and circumstances that are going to be absolutely in alignment with you creating this outcome. That's what we have so far for 4 components. The last component, component number 5, that you're going to see and hear in all of the tips that are relevant prior to now, is the concept of that divine God force funnel that attaches to the top of your head and expands up into the universe, into the highest levels of light, way above the shadow darkness that is also part of the earth plane. This is a planet of duality, the dark and the light. However, this funnel is going to be going way up beyond into the highest realms of divine love, light, and pristine God force. So that is going to be our component number 5. And that is the funnel that is the channel that brings down into and through that bubble, further cleansing, further activating, further harmonizing, and creating this synchronicity of heaven and earth, so that in that bubble, you have the energies that are necessary to then bring forth and magnetize to you what it is you want to manifest according to divine timing, according to divine order, according to what is truly on your soul purpose path. So, one more sip here. So let us begin. And I will use these different components as a benchmark roadmap, like a series of signposts along a highway. So let's have you close your eyes and take some deep, relaxing breaths. Breathing in to a count of 2, hold 1, and exhaling to a count of 2, hold 1. Breathing in to a count of 2, hold 1, and exhaling to a count of 2, hold 1. Breathing in to a count of 2, hold 1, and exhaling out through the count of 2, hold 1. Very good. Okay. Let's start with component number 1. I'd like you to imagine that suspended in the air is a beautiful, large bubble of light. And attached to that bubble of light is like a kite tail that extends from the bottom of that bubble all the way down deep into the earth and connects to the crystalline boulder deep in the center of the earth. And you're going to place the funnel. We're going to put that in position now. Component number 5, just attach it to the top of that bubble so that it's there and it extends way up into the universe. Now we're going to have you take a moment and inject, infuse, place pictures and internal dialogue and emotions of what it will be like when you have this one goal, this one intention that you want to manifest, and just project it in there. And the way that you can create those internal dialogue, sounds, and pictures and emotions is to imagine that you already have it. It is already here now. So just put them in a collection of pictures and emotions and sounds of you already having your desired outcome. And now, in a moment, we're going to activate that funnel of light. And it is going to wash out from the inside of that bubble any block, any relationship, any circumstance, any group, any particular instance that is impacting your life and that would impede the manifestation of that outcome. You don't have to know the details, although you may in fact have certain ideas, certain internal dialogue, certain pictures start to appear in your consciousness. And that means that you're either releasing the debris that you don't need that will interfere with you accomplishing this goal, or it'll mean that you are activating your intuition and you're starting to get guidance. You're starting to get information from your soul, from your higher self, from your spirit guides, from God, sending you information that is germane to you accomplishing this goal. And you'll be able to tell the difference. And if you want to, you can write some of these things down if you don't want to forget them. But in the meantime, what you're after is releasing and activating. Releasing and activating. Okay, sweet boy, let's have you back up over here. Good boy. That's a good boy. Now, what you want to do is trust. You don't have to overthink this. You don't have to worry about doing it wrong. You can't do it wrong. All that's happening is you being courageous and committed to have what you want, and then do what you know to do, not only this exercise, but whatever else you're doing in your life to bring about this outcome. And then let go. You know the expression, let go and let God, right? Some of you probably know that expression. And that's really being detached from the outcome. Your job is to really want what you say you want. And your job is to take whatever actions you can to get what you want. And your job is to bring forth the best you in any given circumstance you can, even if you're not feeling well, even if things are going really in a challenging way. All you can do is keep moving forward. That's all you can do. is to be clear about what you want and keep moving forward. And this exercise will help you do that. Now, in retrospect, a couple of days ago, I taught you an energy flow exercise. So please look for that in the tips series. So that will help you to energize and cleanse your chakras and to bring an energy flow from the top of your head all the way down to the soles and the tips of your toes, soles of your feet and tips of your toes, to help you move energy in your physical body that might be stuck. That helps you to bring your higher vibrations coming in through the top of your head, your divine access point, and moving it through your physical body. So that particular exercise or series of exercise of that tip day will work absolutely in concert with this particular exercise. So just go through the past trainings of the tips. If you're in the Light Leader group, Light Leader Power for Success and Mission Impact, you can just go into unit number 14 and look at the past tips. And if you are not a part of that group, then just go up to the YouTube channel and look for the playlist that is for this particular series, which is called Radical Soul Expansion and Success 30-Day Tip Series. Getting back to this, what you're going to do is just be mindful of what arises inside of you, but don't hold on to it. Just let it flow through you. If you feel that it's intuition and inspiration, then write it down if you can. If not, do your best to remember what you got. So, you ready to begin? All right, here we go. So you've got your ball of light, you've got your grounding cord, you've got it connected to the crystalline boulder, you've got your funnel in place. At the count of 3, you're going to activate that funnel, and it's going to start washing down through the inside of your bubble. Here we go. 1, 2, and 3. The divine energy is strong, but it's gentle. And it goes through that internal bubble, the inside of the bubble, cleansing the walls of the bubble, releasing down the grounding cord, blocks, confusion, conflict of interests, conflict of values, removing down, interferences, outer world interferences, or maybe interferences as well that live within you. Whatever is blocking the manifestation of this goal, that is released down the grounding cord and is transmuted by that cauldron into goodness, goodwill, love, and light. Moving down, moving down. Moving down. And that flood of divine light continues to purge and cleanse. All the way through your system. All the way out of your energy field, as well as this bubble that acts as the capture location of all the necessary energies required to make this happen. And notice what's coming up. Thoughts, pictures, negative beliefs, positive beliefs. All the way out and down your grounding cord. And down your grounding cord. The divine light continues to flood in, and notice a quality of difference because you've now been purging for a few moments. So notice if there's a shift in what you're seeing, what you're feeling, what you're knowing, what you're hearing. This will give you an indication of what the light is doing inside your matrix of thought, emotion, karmas, higher self connection to your human self, and the soul purpose path, highest expression that you came into this lifetime to live. All the way down. All right. And now, while that funnel of divine energy continues to flow down, we do the last step, which is to connect to the people, places, and circumstances that are in alignment, that are in sync with you creating this outer world or inner world reality. And by inner world, I mean if you're working on changing certain habits and certain vulnerabilities that you really want to heal, that's what I mean by your inner world. Outer world would be obviously circumstances that are in full manifestation mode, where you can see it, you can hear it, you can feel it occurring in your outer world. That's what I mean by the outer world. And so what you're going to do now is to call forth, and I'll give you a declaration, affirmation to say, but you can use something that's your own wording. And you really are calling out to the universe, dear God, I am ready to receive the highest sources of love and light in the form of people, places, and circumstances that want to contribute to the success of manifesting this goal, that are for my highest good and their highest good, so that there is an experience that serves all involved. And you can listen back to this replay and get those words down in writing if you like. But in the meantime, you're calling out for the highest forms of people, places, and circumstances that are for your highest good and their highest good to contribute to the manifestation of this goal. And so you put out that call and now see ribbons of light shooting out from that bubble. And they're just shooting out all over the universe, connecting to those people, places, and circumstances according to the right divine timing, bringing to you the resources that they are designated to bring forth for this goal achievement. And just see those ribbons out there connecting. They're going to the right people at the right time, in the right way, for the right reasons. Everything is right. Sending it out, sending it out. And you just know that the right communication is taking place. The divine intelligence is setting up the right information exchange between you, this goal, and those people, places, and circumstances. And now here's the final step. At the count of 3, those ribbons will disconnect from that bubble and they will just fall to the earth. They will fall into the earth, sending out ripples of energy, of intelligence, so that on the earth plane, these people, places, and circumstances will also be contacted. So are you ready? All you need to visualize is that those ribbons of light disconnect and they just drop into the earth and is absorbed into the earth, so that divine intelligence takes them at the right time, in the right way, to the right people for the right reasons, to bring your manifestation into your physical reality. 1, 2, and 3. They disconnect and they fall to the earth, absorbed into the earth. And now sit quietly while that's happening and receive. Receive information that might be coming to you, that will guide you as to next steps to take. Now that you have activated your intention, both in the spirit worlds and in the physical plane worlds, now everything is in God's hands to happen according to your highest soul purpose path expression at the right divine timing, in the right divine order. And so it is. Receive. Listen, hear, feel, and know. Information is coming to you. All right. So that is a really robust technique that covers so many dimensions of what it takes to manifest one's goals. It has to do with clarity of intention. It has to do with letting go of interfering forces in the form of matters that, the reason I hesitate is because I just don't want to go down the whole list. Essentially, you are releasing manifestations that could interfere with you accomplishing your goal. And then the rest is letting go, letting it down the grounding cord, and then sending out the call, the plea, the cry to the God force, to the unified field, to the creative force that brings forward manifestation here on planet Earth. And you're then allowing the intelligence to communicate with the people, places, and circumstances, and then you release it to the highest good of the spirit worlds as well as the earth plane. And then the rest is on a daily basis, maybe multiple times a day. If you've got a really strong goal that's time sensitive or that means a lot to you, you could easily do this exercise multiple times a day, bringing to you what you need at the right time. So I would suggest you keep a journal now, and that you start becoming very aware of ideas that pop into your head, synchronicities that occur. Nothing is by accident. You have set something in motion that you want. So believe that it is already coming, starting now, if not a lot sooner than now. All right, I'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be a review day. We're going to do a watch party of all 10 tips. So if you really want an immersion, if you want a refresher course, if you want to really sit down and just take all this in and set some like a private sacred retreat for yourself, tomorrow will be the day that we can do that. It's going to start at 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, which is 10 o'clock Eastern Time. And I'll see you there. Have a wonderful day. Have fun with this. This is you being in your sovereign creator power. Bye for now.